Hello, this is Malcolm Rose. Now, I was going to continue my Berserker adventure, but you know, they recently, well, they being some dev, recently changed Gnolls to something really fascinating. They have incredible proficiency and excellent physical attributes, but must learn all skills at once. I've got to try this. So we're going to take a little break. Take a little break from berserking. I am going to do this in a streak. What are we up to? 5, I think? Won their last 5 games. So we're going to try it on a streak. We're going to use... I'm going to use Artificer, I think. Let's see here. Yeah, we'll use Artificer, strictly because I want a nice, safe start. So we're a Gnoll Artificer. So what's changed is, usually, or before, the stats were sealed at like 7 or 8, so you had a kind of garbagey character that could never cast high-level spells, and you had +3 apps on the on all your abilities. Now your stats are actually decent, really good actually, and you have +8 apps on everything, but you have to train everything at once. And I guess that you have the standard Gnoll abilities, very sharp teeth, and uncanny sense of smell, can sniff out nearby items. So we are a Gnoll. We're a Neo-Gnoll. I suspect this is terribly broken. Just a theory. We're gonna find out. I waited for him. I waited for him to wake up. Unfortunately, he shouted. Let's see if we can stab him to death. We got him. Oh, I shouldn't say stab. You know what I mean. Fight him to death. Nothing to throw yet. So we just kind of have to wait. The idea is to, you know, wake something up without going to it. We don't want to reveal more squares, you know? Nice, he didn't shout. We're gonna fight this somewhere that's a little more explored. This is good. Okay, he can hit for 10 damage. Why don't we go ahead and use the wand? Couple charges. Not wanting to take any chances. So let's look at our skills. They're not improving very quickly. I suspect this is going to be kind of crappy in the beginning. Really good later. Okay, I'm grabbing that hunting sling. Artificer should make it work out, though. By the way, I would have done a Gnoll Berserker, but under the current scheme, you can't, actually. Because they're always training magic, and Trog doesn't like that very much. So we actually can't do an Gnoll Berserker even if I wanted to. Which I would have, probably. Maybe not. It's going to be kind of cool to have all the level 9 spells possible at the same time. And a couple hunting slings have shown up, but no stones, no bullets. Hunting sling would be a pretty nice weapon right now, if we had the ammo for it. I just realized we're training everything, so we're actually getting some stealth. Okay. Possible ego on that whip that we found. Anyway, yeah, I have stealth, therefore I can sneak up on these things probably a bit. Not that I'm training very quickly. Hey, a pair of gloves. Nice. I'm going to use these 2 stacks. It's identified, good. Oh, and we have remove curse. Excellent. So we'll try this ring on. Intelligence, I'll take it. Try this whip on. Oh-ho! Well, I guess we'll be using distortion for a while. And I'm fine with that. Distortion is an excellent brand early on, or late even. Looks like there's a little bug here. Visual bugs are unsurprising on something on such a new piece of code. It says you stop training short blades, you stop training slings when I drop those. As you can see, it didn't actually stop. But that's cool. We have... We don't have any maces and flails yet, unfortunately, for some reason. So the game might be a little bit bugged for these guys. We're going to find out. Anyway, I am getting throwing, it looks like. Well, wait, no, I'm not. 0.0. Curious. I'm wondering why certain things are training and certain things aren't. Maybe it's just that the experience is spread so thin. I think that's what it is. We're getting very little training early on because of how thin the experience is spread. Okay, we're not going to take the random altar. And the reason for that is... Oh. Let's use flame on this guy. Yeah, the reason for that is that we could get Zom, and I don't want Zom. Poison magic skill. I guess I don't know, I'm really confused on how the game is deciding where to put the experience. Maybe it's random? I haven't looked up much on this. Oh, we're using intelligence for sure. We're going to be casting on this character, no question. We'll use flame to kill this adder. Unfortunately, we get another adder. Let's use flame. A lot of adders on this floor. I'm going to try random effects. It looks like it got teleported. That's good. Let's see if I can... Cool, finished them off. Random effects could have hasted, which would have been bad, but I could always just use my Wand of Flame. And I am wearing scale mail, so... Oh hey, a fast goblin. I guess he had a potion. Vampiric Falchion. That's a decent amount of damage for this point, but he's dead. Using up flame charges pretty quickly, but I really just don't want to tussle with those adders just yet. Even if my brand is really good, there's no guarantee it'll hit, you know. Okay, we're level 4 now. We have 34 hit points. I'm going to give it a shot. I pulled him back here. Looks like we one-shotted him thanks to the brand. So that's pretty cool. See, I guess the experience kind of goes randomly. Like, bounces around. I thought it would all increase at the exact same rate. But maybe not. Anyway, we're certainly not taking off this whip for a while, so we don't even need to test these weapons. We can't, really, unless we want to risk dying or going to the abyss. But that's fine by me. Having a weapon of distortion this early is pretty cool. Okay, let's go up. Let's identify a few things. Got heal wounds, nice, and flight, which is not so nice. As you can see, I always pull things back. If you're doing the right play, you are probably pulling things back like that a lot. Want to fight in these hallways. Even if it's just a singular orc, you know, he could have a priest behind him. You never know. We have Chainmail on, we have Scale Mail. Oh. Seems pretty straightforward so far. Let's see if we can do this. It's not quite working. There we go. That's the problem with adders. It's a very swingy fight. You may miss 5 times in a row because their evasion is just so good. Okay, we have a strength ring and an intelligence ring now. No books yet. But we're assured that no matter what book we find, we'll be able to cast things out of it eventually. Really neat concept, I think. I would say that if it stays like this may actually be a really good beginner race, honestly. Because it takes away all of the thought about what you're training, which for me, I've played enough that it's kind of automatic for me. But if you haven't, then you can get bogged down in like, what should I be training? What do I do now? What do I do? Okay, we want a Jib to not wand me to death here. Oh, he could lightning bolt me. This is bad. Let's Wand of Enslavement on him. This is really, really bad. Because we could get double zapped. This is just really... These charms are just not working. What to do here? I think that I need to swing on him. I guess I could tell him to run away. I'm gonna swing. Oh no. Okay, that's actually not so bad. He doesn't have a weapon. So we're just gonna flame him to death. He can't kill me. See, he can't really... He doesn't have a weapon, so if he paralyzes me, it's like no big deal. Although I would have liked to have had that wand. Like unzapped, you know. That's cool. That worked out. That was a little bit inexpertly done. I should have just, after charming him, I should have sent him south, closed off that door, and left this floor. That would have been the optimal thing to do. A little too confident right now in my ability to kill things with this awesome whip. So I should slow it up a bit, probably. Okay, we're gonna go up. Let's track down this orc. Got him. No altars except for this faded one. Scroll of Blinking, definitely take that. Scroll of Teleport, we'll take that. Mark down all the Identify and the Fog. Actually, we'll buy Fog. Enchant Armor, Amnesia even, and Immolation. This is all stuff that we want. Good shop. Speaking of good things, we now have several Hex Wands. So unfortunately, we're going to teleport things around a bit with this whip. And that's just going to be something we have to live with. Okay, let's walk on over to the hatch. Let's see if I can kill this. without using resources. Oh hey, that guy got abyssed. This guy can do some good damage to me, so why don't we try to get the confuse. We succeed. And we'll finish him off. Still no plate mail. Or chain. We might as well go for the heaviest armor. It's not like we're casting yet. Wow, this guy does not want to get confused. There we go. It's one downside to this whip, is that I'll teleport things after I hex them sometimes. Okay, chainmail. We go from 7 AC, 13 EV to 9 and 10. So we lose 3 points of EV for 2 points of AC, which honestly I'm fine with. I will try this robe on. Just in case it's Arg-Magi. It's cursed. We have lots of remove curse. We have Amulet of Rage. Not so good when you're wearing a distort weapon. Okay, we're gonna identify some more potions. Got some good ones. TSO altar. I guess I should worship him. All it does is stop me from worshiping evil gods, which is not a big deal. Let's do it. We'll get some free piety from this. He doesn't hate distortion, so it's cool. Okay, he does a ton of damage. Paralyze. Got him. Throw rocks until he's dead. So yeah, we're not going to be worshipping So forever. But he gives me, you know, some minor benefits. More accuracy with this halo. Let's pull this back. Force the guy to come to me. He disappears because of my whip. Kill this stuff. Oh man. We do have curing identified, so I confused that wizard because he got blinked behind me, and that's one of the downsides of distortion is things will get blinked into inopportune positions. So we actually want to take this thing off as soon as we find a better weapon. Sif Muna, huh? I mean, I guess I could start worshipping Sif Muna. We will wear this buckler. Since we're training shields anyway. Since we have to. Nice, another wand of enslavement. Okay. So, we found the temple. We are banned from worshipping evil gods. But otherwise we can pick whatever we want. TSO will not give us wrath on account of worshipping him briefly, as long as we don't swap to an evil god. So, what do we want to do? Huh. I wonder if I take Rue and then I sacrifice a skill, will it stop training it, I wonder? That might be like a closet benefit. You know what? Let's find out. We'll see. We'll like sacrifice some kind of spell school or something, just to see. An artifact here. Chainmail of sunlight. With Arlek. I don't know about all that. It's only +1. Oh, can't unwield yet. Alright, let's grab that scroll of amnesia real quick. I just want to have it identified. Nice. Skills continue to march up. Cursed +0 scale mail. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to keep the scale mail on. I don't want to waste another remove curse just yet. Ideally, we'd like to get some double action out of it because we are running out. And scale mail's perfectly nice. Barely any different than chainmail. Whoa, 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 whoa. This is bad. Yeah, wow. We will use heal wounds. Use heal wounds again. Wow, he hits us every single time. Let's, we could definitely die here. Walk away, we get the teleport. A D6 very, well not very ugly thing, but a D6 ugly thing is pretty disgusting. Especially one with electrocution. Maybe I should have worn the, Arlek not chainmail, ringmail. Let's get off this floor. This is really dumb that that guy's here. Really early. I should have blinked, by the way, instead of using those 2 healing potions, but we're fine. I think I could have died there at one point. It was when I took the step south. I could have possibly died. I want a berserk here, but I really don't while I'm using this whip, since it could send things blinking around me. Then I just end up out of the berserk and slowed. Okay, there's a centaur. Why don't we actually make use of our wands here? Come on, throwing. Got some gloves here. Gloves of archery, that we will probably end up using for the rest of the game. And in fact, I'm going to go in and I'm going to grab enchant armor. I'm going to use it on the gloves. It's an excellent thing to find on this character. Now, once we have some more piety, or any piety at all, I will go back to D6 and kill that guy. But yeah, gloves of archery should be making my throwing do a lot more damage. Doesn't seem to be working out. Maybe not a lot more damage, but okay, fine. He's been abyssed. I guess I'll take that. Yeah, it says +4 slay for any ranged weaponry, including throwing. Would really like to get this whip off. I'm not saying it's not a good weapon, it's just a tedious weapon. And I'd like to try out that staff, see what kind of magic it is. Okay. I guess I could sacrifice skill. That's kind of funny. It'll bring it from 8 to 7, which is still pretty good. We could sacrifice a hand. I think we're going to go with hand. That gives us the most piety quickly. Okay, now it says shields and bows. And it's not training it anymore because I can't. So have I just increased the speed at which I train everything? I wonder. Or is it going to train it anyway? It drops the skill to 0, but is it going to start training it up again? That's the question. I don't see shields on here at all, though. It took it right off, right? Yeah, I don't see shields anymore. Unless I'm blind. So, it's interesting. I think I may have just discovered a way to game the system a little bit. Oh, we've got draw out power now. Why don't we try to clear out this ugly thing? Since we have an aura. Here it is. So we're going to open with confusion. Throw some rocks at this thing. We're going to enslave this guy. That immediately gets murdered. Why don't we try to paralyze? Cool. Wow, that's just not... I'm gonna try random effects. There we go. So Bose is going up again. So that seems wrong. I'm gonna make some notes here. Which I'm gonna relay to that dev, I think. So yeah, if you sack a hand, bows keeps training, shield does not. So it seems inconsistent to me. That was a ton of experience, by the way, for D6. It's one way you can tell that something is a little out of place. Some artifacts. A lot of uses for my gold this game. Maybe I should have gone Gozag. I've got to get rid of this whip. Really, our only choice, though, is to use brand weapon. I'm gonna save. I'll save these identifies actually until I've bought that enchant weapon scroll. Nice. He petrified himself. Oh, hasted. Not good. I'll teleport. A little bit wasteful there. Okay, let's walk away. And let's see if we can just hit this guy to death, hopefully. Doesn't quite work, thanks to the distortion brand. Nice. A little early for elephants, but I'll take the experience, you know. Unfortunately, no books yet. Okay, I guess I'm stuck here. I'm gonna lignify. Gives me some AC. Okay, fine, good. Go into the lair. I'm going to do lair and pre-lair in the same video, since this is going pretty smoothly. Ooh, some Oclobs. Not really in a position where I can kill those just yet. Now this guy's tough. I really just wanted to get the spiny frog killed there, since he's a rough customer. Oh man, this was bad. I thought I would have a hallway here. I do not. So we'll charm one of the wolves, and we'll kill the others. It's a rather nasty, contested Lair 1 entrance. Of course, it feels that way on account of this character being a little bit weak. Let's see if I can throw rocks at this thing till it's dead. It's not quite working, is it? Let's just walk away from it. Oh, there's another one. I'll charm him. As for you, you run that way. I just don't want to fight spiny frogs yet. I don't have the tools to do it. Oh, man. So we'll just keep charming them and forcing them to fight each other, I guess. See, look at that. Look at all that damage. Spiny frogs are the hydras of frogs. I mean, they hit like a truck. I have to keep using enslavement. What a shame. That's not working. Let's leave. He's gonna get us. Gotta charm him. I wanted to send him at something, but I guess I'm just gonna have to make him run away. Well, we've burned through quite a lot of wands. I'd rather not burn through any more. Wow, I'm gonna have to blink. I need this hallway. I will lignify, so I stop taking so much damage. Why don't we go ahead and draw up power. Just one left, I think. What can you do? 20 damage? Draw up power again. Not too much draining. This is going to be a lot better when I have the second Rue ability, the hop. Alright, we got him. Whew. One more, unfortunately. This would be even worse if it was old-style Blink Frogs where they absorb Distortion Brand. Okay, we got him. And a Hydra. We're definitely not ready to fight a Hydra. Maybe if I lignified, but not really. What a shame that we found no books. Maybe I should have gone Sif Muna. Why don't we go ahead and get this enchant weapon? We're having a rough enough time that I think the correct move here is to go ahead and enchant this whip up a little more. Wow, we have 4. Awesome. So you have a +5 distortion whip. And I guess that we'll save the rest of this for another time. We still want the rest of those wands. Scrolls, I mean. Actually, why don't we go ahead and cast some, or use some. Okay, it was Torment and Fear. The Fear is a big loss, the Torment not so much. Well, he spotted me. Fighting him is not really an option. And we don't have any recharge for that enslavement, unfortunately. So we could teleport, we could go downstairs, or we could try to enslave him, even if the chances aren't great. We would have 3 shots, and then we would have a means of dealing with this Oclob farm. Oh, we got him on the first shot. Well, that's one way to do it. Now what do we do? Unfortunately, no javelins, no tomahawks. If we had javelins, we would be able to kill him pretty handily. I could lignify Berserk, probably take him out. But if it doesn't work, then we're in some deep trouble. I just want this armor. Let's see. If I go there, he's here. I pick it up, he's here. I move here, he's here. And I move there, I still have a square between me. Do I really want to leave layer 1 like this? I mean, the answer is no. I'm going to teleport. Seems like a waste, but had to get away. Okay, we will remove Curse. Ringmail's kind of interesting. I think we'll wear it. Got a nice pile of fruit. Needles of Confusion are an interesting choice. We may end up using those at some point, but not just yet. We don't even have a blowgun. And a blowgun isn't available. Let's, I'm gonna Berserk. I'm gonna risk it. Okay. Oof. So with Berserk we can do it as long as... Here's the thing. Berserking is a really, really, really bad idea usually if you're wearing Distort. I was prepared to teleport or blink away if it went poorly, because being slowed next to a spiny frog is terrible. If you don't have those options, then you probably shouldn't Berserk next to a spiny frog with distortion. Or next to anything, really. Ah, what a shame. La Jetong. That would have been nice if I hadn't cut my hand off. That's cool, though. Let's go down to the next floor. Remembering that there is a Hydra nearby. Now, berserking here would not be such a bad thing. Nice. He's a beast. See, if I berserk, if I do it on the staircase, I can leave if need be. See, he got teleported, but that's okay. At least he didn't get blinked around. So really, it hasn't changed. It doesn't change a whole lot from your usual berserking issues. You want to be on a staircase. That's normal. Let's go up. It just kind of increases the amount that you want to be on a staircase. All this disto teleporting, I suspect it wakes things up all over the level. Something teleports next to it. That makes things a little more iffy. I don't want to run into the darkness, but I do want to... I didn't want to fight both of these things at once, so we won't. Have him run, rest up. Thankfully the Hydra on that floor has not caused me an issue. I was a little concerned that he would make an appearance. Fingers crossed. Using up a lot of food here. Oh, there he is. See, the worst thing would be if we come up and he's right next to me. But yeah, unfortunately we don't really have a great way of taking him out at this point. See, that was what I was talking about. The thing got blinked, so we wanted to go back up. Why don't we go down a different staircase? New sacrifice. Well, love is an option. Armor is an option. If I plan on being like a pure caster, that is fine. Especially if I decide to go transmutations, which I could. I really don't want to use love because I'm eventually going to be using summons, I just know it. I think durability is the move here. So we only really lost, in the short term we lost 1 point of AC, but we gained power leap, which is huge, and possibly more importantly, lost armor, which should increase the speed at which I train all this other stuff. Seems like we're getting better at killing things, so That's cool too. Power leap certainly helping. 5-headed Hydra. A Hydra on every floor so far. Uh-oh. We've been pushed off the stairs. Oh boy. Going back down that staircase was a mistake. I don't want to try the enslavement on one of the elephants. I'll do it to the basilisk, though. You know what? We're going to use Power Leap as an escape tool. Well, we're going to walk away from this Hydra. He's kind of guarding the staircases, isn't he? What to do? This lair has been so contested that it kind of makes me want to leave it. Let's see. 84 hit points. He can hit max damage for about 80, 72, I guess. Less because of my meager but present GDR from Ringmail. If I lignify... Yeah, we're going to lignify. So now we have 126. And we have, a lot of hit points for berserking now. Oh no. That went about as poorly as it could have. We're slow now, but that's okay. Tree form is really good. We're out of tree form now. I'll power leap to finish him. He had almost no hit points, so that was more or less guaranteed. So that was, yeah, that was a little ungracefully done, but it worked. Oh, we've fallen through a shaft. So, that was a little bit of a mistake, trying to berserk in tree form, because I couldn't escape up the staircase. I should have just berserked out of tree form, and then reset the fight if need be. Let's hunt this elephant down. He's teleported. How is it that he got blinded? That was the Rue ability. Okay, we're going to try this again. Throw some rocks. I'm going to drink agility, and I'm going to berserk. So we got 23 EV, not much AC. Berserk is ending. I think we need to leave. That's a shame. Kind of wasted a agility potion there. Now I don't have to fight these Hydras. The only reason I'm doing it is I really would prefer not to leave that Hydra up here. That is... You know, I always say in Crawl, like, you don't have to fight everything, and you don't. But you also need to be aware that if you're trying to stair dance, which I often am, you're gonna risk coming up and having a 5-headed Hydra next to you, which is probably instant death if you're already hurt, maybe even if you're not. Let's try these 2 stacks. Yeah, I figured it was something useless. Okay, so we got rid of Potions of Degeneration. We're going to leave the 1 stacks. We're hurting a bit on consumables. I mean, we have Blink and Teleport, and we have healing, but consumables for doing fights that we otherwise wouldn't be able to, we're totally null on those. Might, Agility, Haste, Wands. Okay, speak of the devil, there's a Paralysis. I like that. Paralysis is 36% on Hydras. So it's not exactly something I want to try to spam, unless I'm willing to waste a goodly number of charges. Another reason, by the way, that I left instead of just trying to use Power Leap to finish that Hydra off is that I'm not a Trog guy, so I have a pretty decent chance of being paralyzed when my Berserk ends. Uh-oh. Also, when your Berserk ends, it's a moot point because you're exhausted, which is the same mechanic that Trog's abilities use. Really? What a surround. I may need to teleport out of this, as silly as that is. I wish I had more enslavement. Let's see if I can't walk to the staircase. Looks like it's working. Yeah, okay. That was just way, way, way too many things to fight at the same time. I hate these Blink Frog packs. I mean, usually the #1 thing you want to do in this game is not fight several things at once, but with the Blink Frog packs, there's almost no avoiding it, really. They're also hitting me for max damage a lot, which should surprise no one. I'm in ring mail, so what do you expect? Amulet of Regeneration. I think I'd rather have Rage, but we're going to keep Regeneration on. We'll swap Rage on if we want to use it. Rage is not something I should be using whimsically. Should be something planned out, usually. Like so. Put on Amulet of Rage, pull him to the staircase. And Berserk. Now, if that Hydra had more heads, you wouldn't see me being quite so willing to do that. Because I don't have much in the way of defenses. Polar Bear got abyssed. I have to wonder how much of my experience has been stolen from abyssings. got some boots here. Now we are having a rough time to a degree, so we're going to enchant that up. Anytime your character feels a little bit subpar, a little bit difficult to handle certain things, go ahead and use your enchants. No reason to hoard them. If you're having a hard time now, you're going to have an easier time later. So you might as well give yourself the benefit. It may seem meager to have like 1 point of AC extra or 2 points of AC extra, but it adds up. You know, every single hit, it adds up. 5-headed Hydra. Let's pull one of these blink frogs. Which, by the way, using a staircase is one of the only ways you're going to really get blink frogs away from each other, in my experience. Wait, what? Your shield skill increases to level 6. So it doesn't show up here, but it's still training. I can't decide if that's sloppy code or if that's overlooked. Not sure if that's intended or not. But it tells me that my gambit has failed to try to abuse the system with Rue. Seems a little odd, like how can you train something that you literally cannot do ever again? I'm gonna make a note to myself here. Okay. Be a little bit careful around this Mamba. I was prepared to go to the staircase if need be. Alright, These sacrifices are not great. AC minus, or EV minus 5. But we'd have Apocalypse. Love, but we... We would not be able to do summons, which we definitely want to have. It's silly not to do summons if I'm forced to train them. I could do an eye, I guess. I mean, the thing is, I don't even know what other sacrifices I would take at this point, other than the stat ones. Stealth, I guess? Experience, skill, words and drink might be okay, but my defenses are crappy enough right now. I really don't want to eat an EV penalty. I don't want to eat an accuracy penalty, and I don't want to mess up the rest of my game by sacrificing love. I am going to reject, even if it means that I won't have Apocalypse for a while. I think that's the right choice. Hopefully I don't get slapped for that. We're going to have to take the next set of sacrifices. It just takes way too long if you reject sacrifices twice in a row. I mean, technically we could reject the sacrifices twice in a row, but I don't know if I'm prepared to wait that long for Apocalypse. Getting Apocalypse is pretty important. It's a pretty important milestone. It is the most important Rue ability other than the passive auras. Power leap to kill the redbacks. Oh, this sucks. You know, I never thought of jumping spiders as scary by themselves, but I guess they can do 20. The power leap takes them out pretty quickly. Let's just walk away until exhaust is over. Power leap this stuff again. I mean, that's one way to avoid the obnoxious nature of disto, is to just kill things with repetitive power leaps. Okay, this thing is rather tough. Looks like we teleported it away. I'm gonna hunt it down, though. A Hydra. This is fine. We'll fight it at the staircase. Put on Rage, and we will, in fact, Rage. And he immediately gets teleported. Try this again. Same thing happens. I gotta hunt it down. That really sucks. I really, really wish that we weren't wearing distortion. Like, that's the way distortion works, is you find yourself super excited about it in the hardest part of the game, which is the very early part, and then you're like, geez, I want this off, you know? This is really messing things up. But it's okay, we can just keep resetting. Nice, okay. That's one way to deal with them. It won't always teleport or blink them, sometimes it'll abyss, so it's fine with me. I'll give up the experience, half the experience, so I don't have to deal with the Hydra. I would like to stop abyssing some of these high experience targets, though, like Yaks. Hydras I'm okay with because they're more annoying, but Yaks I would really like to duke it out, get the experience. But yeah, I hadn't really thought about it before, but disto teleporting things around, like I was saying earlier, like I'm almost positive it wakes things up. So it's, you know, you're waking up the whole level. It's starting to wander. It's not necessarily converging on your location, but it's wandering around. More likely to hear noise. Seems bad. That's just one of those detriments of distortion that I never really considered before. I used to think distortion was one of the best brands in the game. I mean, it is. It's really good. It can erase literally anything. And as long as you don't want to go to the Abyss again, you'll never have to deal with it. Well, unless you get Abyssed, I guess. Can even do it to Pan Lords, Hell Lords. You'll just have to fight them later if you go in there. Although it does kind of confuse me, like, if you can escape the Abyss, why can't a super powerful Pan Lord? What's stopping Lom Loben from walking towards the nearest exit? I feel like that shouldn't work. I feel like after a certain number of branch transitions or floor transitions, they should just show up wherever you are. Which is actually kind of how it works if you leave them, if you take the rune. If you take the rune and don't kill a Panlord. A named Panlord. Why don't I go reset this fight? These guys are slower than me, so there's no reason not to. I'm gonna put regeneration on. I don't need to rage right now. Okay, we've got an Ocklob. And an enchant weapon scroll. Okay, this is okay. I can power leap away if need be. Well, I needed to. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get the paralyze on that Ocklob. It's a hat. It gives nothing at all because it's a +0 hat. 0 AC. We can enchant it up if we want to, which I might, although I'd rather have a helmet since you get 1 AC from the helmet. Should not have walked forward. That's okay, we got him. Still no books. No books at all. Now, thankfully, plants do not heal. Nice. Okay, we got him. Well, we have a +8 whip of distortion. Not that I wanted to enchant this thing up and use all my enchant weapon, but here we are. I thought I saw a book, I guess not. This is a little rough. We do have polymorph, which I'm going to immediately drop because it's bad, does bad things. Okay, good. This Hydra has seen me, which is actually what I wanted. Why don't we teleport using the trap? Okay, I want to get the dream sheep by itself actually. Oh no. That's bad. If I get put to sleep, I'll die. We're gonna teleport, I guess. No, we're gonna power leap. Kill the sheep that way. Oh no. It used the water to get close to me since hydras move faster in water. That's cool. We'll use this teleport trap. Oh, somebody already used it. But it looks like random energy is kinda, yeah, random energy has given me my escape without using a resource. I like that. Now we want to fight this guy by himself. I'm going to put on Amulet of Rage. We're going to do the usual thing. We'll even do it with 2 Hydras. Maybe that's really dumb. Let's open up with Lightning. Oh yeah. Let's go up. We can fight 4-headed Hydras without Berserk, I guess. But yeah, Lightning unfortunately ran out very, very, very quickly. Still waiting on that brand weapon scroll. That would be nice to have. Okay, second of 3 Hydras. We are starving, which would be a good reason why we are having issues. Okay, 6-headed is Abyss. Still no books. Final Hydra. Nice. That's pretty much the floor. It wouldn't surprise me to learn that there's more stuff here. This is fine for now. I think this character would be doing a lot better if I hadn't found Distortion, because I probably would have popped on like an Arbalest or something. I've been swapping weapons a lot. It seems odd to laser focus on one weapon on a character that is forced to train literally everything. You could do some interesting things like not really care about using up ammo on your crossbows and things like that, since you just swap to a bow or something later, or even a melee weapon. Anyway, we're on layer 6, so hopefully it's not going to be too brutal. And I really hope I find a book finally. Otherwise all this intelligence training is going to start looking pretty silly. At least we're getting to the point where this character can really hold his own. Enchanting up the whip was not a mistake. It's really, I think, one of the main factors in the fact that I'm actually hitting and doing damage to things finally. Since I can't rely, as cool as it is, I can't rely on the distortion of space effect to do damage. Since just as often, or perhaps more often, far more often even, it'll blink, teleport, get abyssed. Well, I guess abyssing is okay, since it eliminates the threat, but it's not ideal, you know. Oh wow, we are not fire resistant. Why don't we power leap on out of here? Nice. The cool thing is I can, you know, as long as I can go into melee with something, I can kill it, or abyss it, I can eliminate it. That's the coolest thing about Distort. As long as you're willing to reset the fight enough times, literally nothing in the game can stop you from getting rid of it. Sometimes on certain characters there are threats that your guy just cannot take care of yet, you know? That's just not the case. The only time it's the case on a character that's using Distort is if you can be one-shotted. If you can be one-shotted and you have no way of... I mean, it's about... There's two components to can I reset a fight. The first is, can I be one-shotted? If you can be one-shotted, then clearly you can't reset the fight, not if you're in melee. Because every time you reset the fight, you're risking instant death, more or less. Nice. That requirement is lifted if you're using ranged. Well, if you're using ranged and the monster is not. If the monster has to be next to you to one-shot you, that's a different story. The other requirement is, do I have some way of getting away from this monster? Can I put a square between me and the monster? Now, you can do this semi-reliably with Blink. Like regular Blink. Either from an item or from the spell. The only thing to be concerned about there is that you might get blinked right next to it and take another hit. So with regards to that, if you're relying on Blink to do it, you may want to be able to survive 2 max hits, rather than 1 from a monster. You have to keep in mind that they can get random energy at any moment, so really you should be concerned about 2 max hits anyway, rather than 1. So like if a monster can do 20 damage, you want to have at least 41 hit points, so that if he does 20 and 20, you're still alive. I'm playing it a bit risky with these Hydras, but on the other hand I am hasted while I'm berserked here, so they really can't get a double hit on me. I'm too fast. Let's hunt down this Death Yak. There he is. Back to layer 6. Should have pulled that into a hallway a minute ago. Wasn't really thinking, but that's okay. This Hydra is 6 heads. We're certainly not going to fight it not at full hit points. But yeah, I've pretty much guaranteed, since I canceled out my armor training... Actually, wait, we can kind of cheat. Yeah, wow, armor is training up even though we don't have armor on the board. So we're basically cheating. We sacrificed armor. See, my plan was... In my defense, that's not my plan. My plan was to sack armor, and then I lose the armor, and then my other stuff trains faster, and so I get like kind of a side benefit. Instead, what seems to have happened is my armor got dropped to 0, and then it just started training again. So... unlike the hand sacrifice, where there's like a lasting impact, which is that I can't wear shields or two-handed items, the armor impact seems to have been limited to... I lost all my armor training. Because I see that my AC is 12. And that doesn't make sense because... Well, hold on, I'll show you in a second. Let me take out these. Take out one of these death yaks. Okay, fine. Death yak is out of the way for now, so I'm going to take off my ring mail. So it says my AC is 5. It goes from 5 to 12. So unless my math is wrong, 5, 6, 7, that's 7 points of AC we're getting from this. Well, maybe I am wrong. It's 5 plus 2 is 7. I thought I was getting a +1 from my armor skill. But I definitely saw your shield skill increases to whatever. I guess I didn't see your armor skill increases to XYZ. I don't know. Not so sure about this one. Guys were trying to come up behind me because of those blinks. But we got them. This is okay. I'll just power leap away if need be. If I get surrounded here. And I'm in a rough spot. Really trying to get in here. Saw that coming. Six-headed Hydra. This is fine. We can reset. See, we do have a repeatable way to reset fights. Oh, he's getting random energy. No thanks, man. Yeah, but we have Power Leap, which happily lets me reset the fight. Nice. So, yep, this is the vault with the Deep Troll Shaman. He is really putting some work in, isn't he? Power Leap didn't quite kill him, so we're gonna have to bail, reset this fight. Got some gloves here I can try on. I guess it would be glove, not gloves. So I'm missing a hand. These are not as good as my gloves of archery. Would be nice if these rocks were doing some work. They're okay, but keep in mind I only have 8 skill in them. A book, finally. A book with... okay, it's the Necronomicon. I guess I can't complain. It's good to have for later. Not so great right now. I mean, I can't cast any of this stuff. Soonest thing I'll be able to cast is Haunt, I guess. If I take off my ring mail, It's at 90% instead of 98. It's not really an appreciable difference. But hey, you know, I can't complain. Necronomicon is neat. On this character, I'll actually be casting all this stuff, so that's cool. I was planning on going into transmutations, honestly, since I sacrificed armor. Okay. So I'll end the video here. Unfortunately, it came to an hour and a half, which I guess shouldn't surprise me. It only took me like half an hour to clear early dungeon, but Lair turned out to be a bit of a project. Necronomicon. Well, we'll end up using these spells, I guarantee it. Just not quite yet. Suppose we've got Brilliance, which might let me cast some of this stuff, or just haunt it, really bad castability. That's cool. Well, we'll cut the video here. Neo Gnolls are interesting. I like them. Pretty cool species. Much more fun, I would say, than their previous two iterations, in my opinion. So, by the time I post this series, who knows, maybe it will have changed again. But that's one of the fun things about this game. If you play in Trunk, you get to try out all kinds of new stuff. But yeah, as for the future of this character, of course we're going to continue down the dungeon. We're going to go to Orc. We've got a decent amount of MR. Maybe we won't go to Orc, though. We don't have enough MR to totally block paralysis, and we don't really have a way to create allies to stop myself from getting owned by those things. And we don't have resistances to avoid taking damage from Bolt of Fire, Bolt of Draining, Summoned 6 Furhees, that kind of thing. And we don't have Apocalypse to immediately clear out the Orc Sorcerers, is what I'd normally do. Suppose we could Power Leap on them, but that's not guaranteed to kill them. I have to think about this. Hopefully we'll find a couple more books as I clear out the dungeon. So yeah, I'll cut the video here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Until next time, I am signing out.